The number of uninsured children has been rising sharply across the U.S. over the past 3 years. That's according to a recent report from the Health Policy Institute at Georgetown University. The rate jumped to 5.7% in 2019 from 4.7% in 2016. That translates to approximately 726,000 more children without health insurance since the beginning of the Trump administration. Joan Alker co-authored that report and joins me now from Washington. She is the executive director and co-founder of the Center for Children and Families. She's also a research professor at Georgetown University. Joan, thank you so much for being with us. What role did the Trump administration play when it comes to the rate of uninsured children?
Well, thanks so much for having me and covering this critical issue. You know, I've written this report for 10 years in a row now, and this used to be a good news report. In 2016, the country, after many, many years of bipartisan cooperation, reached a historic low in the number of uninsured children. Unfortunately, in the last couple of years, that has turned around, and we now see this number going in the wrong direction. So, as you mentioned, 726,000 children have lost insurance during from 2016 to 2019. There are a number of reasons for this. There's been efforts to undermine the Affordable Care Act, cuts in outreach and advertising. There's been a chilling effect for families where there's a citizen child and an immigrant parent. They're scared to interact with government. And there's been more red tape to make it harder for families to enroll, even though their children are eligible.
So you alluded to it, but which demographics are being impacted the most by this?
So, you know, we're really seeing all kinds of children losing health insurance. It's so troubling. All ages, you know, even babies, toddlers, all across income groups, but certainly the poorest income groups are losing the most. And we're seeing especially white children and Latino children who can be of any race. Those are where we're seeing the biggest increases.
Well, which states, Joan, have the highest number of uninsured children, and why might that be?
Yeah, so Texas and Florida have the most uninsured children. Uninsured children are more likely to live in the South. Texas has seen a staggering increase. One-third of those children losing coverage during this period are living in Texas, and Texas has almost 1 million uninsured children now. Florida saw an increase of 55,000 uninsured children during the period, so we see that 41% of those kids losing coverage are living in Texas or Florida.
Wow, it's really just so sobering to hear. This data were collected prior to the coronavirus pandemic. Still, how many more children are expected to lose health insurance this year?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we don't know precisely, but we do have some estimates that at least another 300,000 children have lost health insurance due to their parents losing their jobs this year. So unfortunately, that's going to bring us to well over 1 million children likely losing coverage during the Trump administration. And when children don't have health insurance, they're less likely to be able to succeed in school and have worse health in the short term and the long term. So this has really important consequences for our country in the long term and for kids and families every day.
It really is such a critically important issue. Joan Alker, thank you so much for joining us to talk about it.
Thank you.